Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk about your living room from the perspective of traditional Chinese Feng Shui. Not the Instagram perfect one with all the designer furniture and the decorative pieces, but the real one, the one where you actually spend time. Because here's the thing about Feng Shui that most people get wrong. It's not about filling your space with lucky ornaments or symbolic objects. It's about whether your space can actually hold you, support you, nourish you. Whether it can become what we call in Feng Shui a true container of Qi. A house is a space, yes, but it can't just be an empty shell. It needs to be a container, something that can nurture the people inside it. A place where you feel warm, calm, at ease. That quality of being held, being supported, that's what we are really talking about when we talk about Qi in Feng Shui. Now most people think Feng Shui is all about the stuff you put in a room. The more Feng Shui ornaments, the better the energy, right? More crystals, more lucky bamboo, more decorative fountains. But that's a misunderstanding. Your living room isn't a showroom. Whether Qi gathers in your living room has very little to do with how many Feng Shui decorations you display. In fact, sometimes it's the opposite. So what does it mean for a living room to have a good Feng Shui? Simply put, does Qi gather there? Does energy collect and stay? I know that sounds abstract, maybe even mystical. But here's what's interesting. Your body already knows the answer. You can feel it. You've probably just never thought about it consciously. A living room that holds Qi is a living room where you can fully be, where your body relaxes, where your mind settles, where you feel a sense of warmth, not just temperature-wise, but emotionally. You feel received, you feel held. Now think about the opposite. Maybe you've been in a living room that looks absolutely stunning, beautifully designed, everything in its place, perfectly curated, but nobody actually sits there. It's kept pristine for guests to admire. Or maybe it's a huge, impressive space, but somehow it lacks daily life, daily interaction. That's not ideal Feng Shui because it's just a space, not a container. It doesn't make you feel welcomed or accepted. The Qi either can't enter or it enters but doesn't stay. It just passes through. So how do you turn a living room into a space that can gather and hold Qi? First, you need a center, a focal point that draws people in, that makes them naturally slow down and gather around it. In most homes, that center is your sofa area. Think about it this way. Imagine sofas randomly placed, one facing east, another facing west. Everyone sitting on their phones, looking in different directions, no connection. There's no gathering happening, right? Now picture a U-shaped or L-shaped sofa arrangement. Suddenly, people's sidelines intersect. There's a natural conversation area. And here's the Feng Shui part. This kind of arrangement actually slows down the flow of Qi. It creates a gentle enclosure, a soft boundary. The energy can settle instead of just rushing through. That's how you gather Qi, not with objects, but with thoughtful arrangement. There's a Taoist principle that's essential to Feng Shui. Emptiness allows reception. If you want your living room to receive Qi, to be a space that welcomes energy and life, you can't fill it with too much furniture or clutter. Think of a cup. If it's already full, you can't pour anything into it. Your living room is the same way. This doesn't mean your space has to be minimalist or sterile. It means be intentional. Every piece of furniture, every object should have a reason to be there. Does it support how you actually live, or is it just taking up space? A good living room does two things. It lets Qi enter and it allows Qi to stay. Qi enters through openings, your doors, your windows, the pathway into your space. But once it's in, you want it to circulate gently, to linger, to nourish the space. That's where your energy arrangement, your layout, the flow of your room all come into play. When Qi can't stay, when it just rushes through and escapes, that's what we call Qi leakage in Feng Shui. And that's actually what I want to talk about next time. So let me recap the key points today. 1. Feng Shui isn't about how many decorative objects you have. It's about whether your space can actually hold and nourish you. 2. A living room with good Feng Shui is one where Qi gathers, and you can feel this. It's where you feel relaxed, welcomed, at ease. 3. Create a focal point, usually your sofa area, arranged in a way that brings people together and gently slows the flow of energy. And 4. Remember that emptiness is receptivity. Don't overfill your space. Leave room for energy and life to flow in. Next time, I want to talk about something I see all the time. Spaces where Qi does enter, but then it just flows right back out again. What is Qi leakage in Feng Shui? How do you recognize it? And more importantly, how do you prevent it? If this resonates with you, please subscribe and share this with friends who might benefit. Your support helps keep these traditional Feng Shui insights reaching more people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.